Hey everybody, thank you for joining me today. I wanted to talk about the newest Arcade 1-Up cabinet in my home arcade, Time Crisis. I've really been looking forward to getting this one because I did not have a shooter in my arcade yet, and I am a fan of the Time Crisis series. Now I did purchase this from Wayfair during the Black Friday sale, and so I've had this cabinet a little over a month now. So let's take a look at all the games on it and some of the features you get with this cabinet. All right, first off, let's just take a look at the cabinet itself. I do want to point out that this does come with screw hole covers like the other deluxe cabinets. I just have not put them in yet, but the side art looks great on this. The cabinet is very tall when you take the whole marquee into account. Now, I will say the marquee is very large and it does take up most of that space. So if you did not have the marquee on, it does look shorter. In fact, without the marquee, this is about the same height as the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles right here beside it. A little bit taller without the marquee, but still not much. Now the screen sits a little bit higher than that turtle screen, but it's actually not too much higher than that. Now for me, I don't really have a problem with the screen height, but if it was a little higher up, it would probably be a little better for me. I might get some kind of riser at some point in the future, but it hasn't been a problem so far. I've enjoyed playing on the cabinet, but that all depends on your height. I'm 5'11". For me, it has not been an issue, but I can see how it could be an issue for some people that are taller than me. Now, of course, we do have the pedal here. I think the pedal works great for Time Crisis. The only game on this cabinet that uses the pedal is Time Crisis. Now, when we do use the pedal, I do pull that out because I do need it further out from the cabinet when I'm shooting on Time Crisis. But for the other games, you can just push it back up to the cabinet to store it there. Alright, so both guns are the same, except they're just different colors. Now, when you have fire with this gun, the slide does go back. If you don't want to use the slide like that, you can just pull it back till it locks in place. And then when you pull the trigger, it won't move anymore, and it'll just stay locked in place. If you want to unlock the slide, you just press this button right here. It'll unlock it back in. Then you can use it again like that. Normally when I'm playing, I will just leave it like normal for Time Crisis, but when I play Steel Gunner, and even Point Blank, I'll usually lock the slide. Now this black button right here, you can use it instead of the pedal in Time Crisis. In both Steel Gunner games, you can use it to launch the missiles, and you don't use it for anything in Point Blank. Alright, so here you can see the menu here. Now, I will say, you can see I got my Hungry Wolf Guru name. You saw I had some issues with that on Street Fighter 2 I talked about, and they were able to fix that for me. I did not have any issues getting my name on the Time Crisis cabinet. It registered correctly for me the first time, so that was good. I don't have any high scores, but it's definitely something I want to work on. I have played through Time Crisis all the way. I definitely want to get better and better at it. Like I said, Time Crisis is a game that I am a fan of. The other games on the cabinet are Steel Gunner, Steel Gunner 2, and Point Blank. Now, every time that I use the cabinet, I usually will go to the settings first and go to gun calibration. So, in order to calibrate the gun, you're going to hold down the trigger and hold down the black button on the gun together at the same time for 3 seconds, just like it says there on the screen. That's going to put that cursor right in the center of the screen. Once it does that, just aim for that cursor. And so that's how it's going to set up your aiming while you're playing the game. And you can just press the button to go back. Here are the rest of your options. You have your network settings, restore factory settings, menu sound effects, menu background music. So this is all going to be for the menu here on the machine itself. Check for update, your gun calibration, and then back to the main menu. I have the volume down right now. I'll turn it up. So I do have the sound on, you can hear on the background. We'll just go ahead and just so you can hear how loud the sound gets. I'll just keep it down a little low right now. Alright, so let's get into gameplay for Time Crisis.
There's been a kidnapping. It's rigged.
Now there's a story to Time Crisis. You can play either the story game or the timed game. We'll go ahead and just go into the story game.
This nation will soon.
You can watch all the cutscenes if you want.
Action! 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 Reload! Action! Action! Reload!
So you can just hit the live button and press the one player button to go back. The next game is Steel Gunner. Now before I got this cabinet, I'd never played Steel Gunner before. I'm going to pull the slide back now. Alright. And Steel Gunner and Steel Gunner 2 are simpler shooters, but I think they're both fun. So Steel Gunner, you do not have to press, you don't have to pull the trigger every time you want to shoot. You can just hold the trigger down. You don't have to reload. The most thought you have to put into what you're doing, really, besides aiming, is you do have to watch out for civilians. Like I just shot a civilian, so you don't want to do that. Now, I will say the Steel Gunner games I have not spent a lot of time in. I do want to play through them eventually. Even though they're simpler gun games, I do just enjoy these kind of games. So I will get back into those eventually and play them all the way through. But I've just spent the most time playing Time Crisis or playing Point Blank on this cabinet.
An incident occurred on 37th Street. Hurry to the point.
So Steel Gunner 2 is pretty much more the same. It's really easy to accidentally shoot civilians in the Steel Gunner games. That was like I did it on purpose. Like, you're serious to holding down the button, or keep saying button. I know I'm playing a game, but I mean, keep serious to holding down the trigger. You just shoot all these civilians all the time on here. I feel like I've lost more life from killing the civilians than actually getting shot. Point Blank is a great game. I had never played it before I got this cabinet. I heard a lot of great things about it ahead of time before I got the cabinet though, and everybody was right. It is a lot of fun to play by yourself or with your friends, especially if you have other people to play with. In order, shoot the numbers 1 through 16. I have not done this one yet. So this is a bunch of different mini games, and it'll give you a goal on each one. Sometimes you have unlimited bullets, sometimes you have a limited amount, depending on what the level is. Oof. I usually do better on that one. Ugh. I'm going to try one more time and see if I can do a better game than that. Oof, one leaf. Probably get one bullet to do it. Yep. Ah. So if you finish the 4 pops up, then you'll get another 4 to do. Oh, I was not even looking at the right thing. Darn it. that's all 4 games on the cabinet. So there you have it. Time Crisis, it's a lot of fun. Now, I would love for a Time Crisis 2 in the future. I will say you'd have to be able to buy 2 cabinets and link them together, because you would have to use 2 different screens for multiplayer on Time Crisis. But it also would be nice if Time Crisis 2 cabinet had online play, so you could play online with your friends. And it would have been cool if maybe they could have incorporated online for Steel Gunner, Steel Gunner 2, and Point Blank on this cabinet. I'm not sure how well that would work with the gun games. Maybe that's not something really that would work at all. I don't know, but if they could get a way for that to work, that would be really cool. But I think the games are really fun. I think it's a great looking cabinet, and if you don't have a gun cabinet already and the price is right for you, then I would definitely recommend it if you're a fan of Time Crisis or the Steel Gunner games or Point Blank. If these are games that you like, this is a great way to play them. Now, I will say this is a 17-inch screen, and I know that's a point of contention with a lot of people. And I personally would have preferred a 19-inch screen at least on this, and I definitely understand why people would want a 19-inch screen. I believe it's either being worked on or other people have already made a third-party 19-inch screen that you can put in here. So if that's an upgrade I can do later in the future for myself, I might do that. But I will say I'm surprised that the 17-inch screen hasn't really bothered me too much. I've been able to play things just fine. So at the same time, it's something that I may not really bother dumping any money into upgrading. But I might, who knows. If they were to do an XL version of Time Crisis, I probably would pass on it. I will say that. There are some cabinets that I would definitely jump on an XL of, like Star Wars, but for Time Crisis, I think this would probably be it for me. As far as the Arcade 1-Up Time Crisis, I think it's great. Now, if we get Time Crisis 2 or 3 or 4, if they ever did more in the future, or did a cabinet that had multiple Time Crisis of the multiplayer Time Crisis games on it, that would be fantastic, and I would definitely hop on that. That's something I would love to see in an XL, maybe even with a bigger screen than a 19-inch screen. I think the guns work great. Now, I don't have a lot of light guns, or I've never had any guns, really light guns for anything since my NES Zapper, so I don't know a lot about the technology in these. I think these are send-in guns, if I'm not mistaken. So I know it has to do with this white border and how the guns are able to work with the monitor, since they aren't CRTs, but I'm not professional at all when it comes to any of that information, so I couldn't tell you a whole lot about what's inside these guns. There are a lot of great videos out there that could tell you more information about that. But I think they work great, and I really enjoy playing this cabinet with the guns. I do love cabinets with unique controls like this, or my Star Wars cabinet, for example. So those are really nice as well, to have something different to mix it up in the arcade. So again, Time Crisis is a great cabinet from Arcade 1-Up. I will say I think the retail price is too high, in my opinion. And so I probably would not have bought it on retail. I'm glad that it went on sale for Black Friday, but if it had not gone on sale for Black Friday, I probably would not have picked it up yet. And I understand everybody who is of that same opinion. At the same time, I understand if you were really excited for Time Crisis and you jumped on it, I get it, because it is a really good cabinet. Don't get me wrong. I just think that they do creep up there sometimes with some of these cabinets. So thank you so much for watching today. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I'm above 350 subscribers now, so I'm really excited about that. And I will catch you in the next one.